The first is thank you very much for coming here. It's very important to us. And the first question is about tough statement of Dmitry Medvedev that he has made yesterday. It's about European anti-missile system. We can see that something is wrong with reset. And the second thing is that lots of people around, politicians, are talking about the beginning of the new Cold War. Do you think it's possible now?
Yeah, I think it's kind of misunderstanding, or Vladimir Putin would like to send and President Medvedev, they would like to send a message to NATO, to United States, to European Union, because generally speaking, all the countries have rights to take care on their own defense and security. And we, as European states, majority of European Union states, for example, are members of NATO, of the Transatlantic Treaty. And we have full rights to take care of our own defense and security. And Mr. Putin, Mr. Medvedev, they should understand it. They have also rights, as Russia, think about their own defense and their own security. And we don't protest strongly when Russia informs us they will move with some missiles from deep Russia to Kaliningrad Oblast or to Belarus. We criticize it. We say we don't like this idea. But we understand this is still a Russian territory, or is an ally like Belarus, and they have full rights to do what they want. It means they shouldn't protest to the United States and European plans to be secured.
Yes, they shouldn't, but they do actually. And the statement that Medvedev has made yesterday was quite tough. Is it like maybe it's internal policy of Russia to be a tough leader, or this is a real diplomatic problem?
For sure. As Pole, I know Russians. We were together in the Warsaw Pact, and as Poles we know them. And of course, it can happen that this is for internal use only. We will have elections in Russia, the presidential elections very soon. And of course, Mr. Putin would like to present himself as a strong man, as he is.
And Medvedev would be happy, as I understand, to present himself.
Yeah, but I think, speaking about the relationship Medvedev-Putin, I think that the problem has been solved. There were many people, especially in the West, in some think tanks, institutes, saying maybe there will be kind of competition between Medvedev and Putin. It was simply a joke, like a joke for me. It was obvious for everyone that the boss in this team is Vladimir Putin.
But in any case, what they're doing now, what Russia's leaders are doing now, they're quite aggressive. What can be, I mean, the reaction from the West, because maybe it's for internal, but West is listening for them and listening actually to them, yeah? Can it be a beginning of something quite...
Paradoxically, maybe this is a call to use the Western world, to United States and to European Union, saying Russia would like to cooperate within the system, not being outside.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Resolution of European Parliament. You became a hero for Georgia during these last weeks. When you came here, the first comment that you made here was that, you know, I've brought good news to Georgia. Can you please underline what are the main points and main parts of this document, which are the most important things to you?
First of all, I would like to say there are 527 heroes of Georgia in the European Parliament, because this resolution has been adopted with a huge majority. 90% of the members of the European Parliament voted in favor of this resolution. What is very important, it never happened before, all main political groups supported this resolution, means the European People's Party, Socialists, Liberals, Conservatives, and the Greens. So this is a significant fact that such a big majority supported such a strong resolution. I have heard, I didn't check it, but I have heard here in Tbilisi that the European Parliament's resolution is much stronger than the US Congress resolution. It never happened before. So I'm very proud of this resolution, of course, and I'm very proud of my colleagues in the Parliament who supported it. Why I told it's good news for Georgia? I should add, of course, this is good news for Georgia and this is good news for European Union, because I think it's an important sign and message from European Union. We see Georgia as a European country, and we see Georgia's future in Europe, in probably, I can't say any date because I would be crazy saying when, but I think we said in this resolution, we see Georgia with the European perspective, including the Article 49 of the treaty, which means membership. So this is the goal. I can't say it's for tomorrow, in 10 years, I don't know when, but I'm pretty sure and I hope Georgia will be finally a member of the European Union. And this resolution and what is inside, it's also good news for European Union, because we both will be closer, Georgia to European Union to Georgia. When we speak about DCFTA, the free trade area, this is for European companies which can invest in Georgia, and this is for Georgian economy having rights to export goods easily to European Union, for European market.
To Georgia, not only these points were important, but also occupation and ethnic cleansing. This terminology is very important to this country. One question, these words are said and written in the resolution of European Union, but the main question is, what can European Parliament, European Union do to enforce Russia to implement as minimum the ceasefire agreement?
First, why we did it? I think finally we decided it's time to tell the truth. And we named the situation how we see it. We see it as an occupation, because this is an unnecessary presence of the thousands of Russian soldiers, in fact, controlling these territories of Abkhazia and South Ossetia. When someone is speaking about the Abkhazian and South Ossetian, especially authorities, it sounds like a joke for me. Everybody knows it's fully controlled by Russia. So this is important step. European Parliament never sent such a strong message to the world about the situation in Georgia and these occupied territories. Ethnic cleansing is a fact. So once again, people say the politicians, they lie from the very early morning till the end of the day. And this is an example when the politicians, the European politicians, said the truth. There were people living now in Georgia, in the territories which is under control of the Georgian government, which lived for years, for ages with their families in the Georgian territories of Abkhazia and South Ossetia. And we have to tell the truth, what happened with them. They escaped from these regions. And this situation has been named as it is. So I think from our point of view, nothing special happened. I know it's important to change for Georgia and for Georgian citizens, but for me, nothing special happened. We just told the truth.
Okay, you said the truth about Georgia, about Russia-Georgian relationships, and about the situation here in this country. But the main question to Georgians now is, what exactly can be done after this resolution is taken, after 500-something members of European Parliament vote.
This resolution is not only addressed to Georgian citizens and even not only to the Russian government. Even we ask several times in the resolution Russian government to do something, to withdraw the troops, to respect international law, to finally to reconsider that the softest word we used, reconsider the recognition of Abkhazia and South Ossetia as independent states. But this resolution is addressed also to the European Council, means to the Summit of European Union, to the head of states, to the president and prime ministers of European countries. It's addressed to European Commission, and is especially addressed to the High Representative for Foreign Affairs and Security, Catherine Ashton. Because the key, to be honest, the key to solve the problem is also in Moscow.
Of course, it is in Moscow, but Russia's official reaction was not surprising. They say that they do not agree with anything. This is first, and then second, they say that this document doesn't have a legal status. So the reaction is quite neglecting.
Yeah, of course. A resolution of the Parliament is a statement of the Parliament. It's not something Russia has to react on. But as I said, this is mainly, from our point of view, addressed to the European Council, to the European Commission, and to the High Representative to intensify the talks with the Russian Federation, because Parliament has no direct negotiations with the Russian government. Even we have some talks with the Russian Parliament, with Duma. We have something called Parliamentary Cooperation Committee, and I'm pretty sure that at next meeting of this committee there will be discussion about our resolution.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Lisek, how did you manage to get all these guys inside of European Parliament to vote for it?
Speaking honest, I was a bit surprised how easy was convince political groups to accept the term occupied territories, because in the very beginning I just discovered everyone, all the political groups accepted, because people, I think, were disappointed with the lack of results of Geneva talks, with the lack of reaction on many resolutions and negotiations with Russian Federation, to asking Russia to even respect small things like the access of EUMM, European Union Monitoring Mission, to the territories of Abkhazia and South Ossetia. It was an agreement signed in 2008 by Russia, by Russian president. So I think this is kind of a sign of disappointment of the parliament, why it's not happened.
I will add one small question. Does it mean that Russian position, actually Russia's position in international organizations, in European Parliament or somewhere else, is becoming weaker? Because maybe 2 years ago it would be very different.
The members of the European Parliament represent the citizens of European Union, not with full respect, not citizens of Georgia, not citizens of Russian Federation, or not citizens of United States. We represent our voters, people who voted for us, means citizens of Poland, Germany, France, and in general, citizens of European Union. So we have to work, we have obligation to work in the interest of EU and EU citizens. So, of course, speaking about the kitchen of the work in the parliament, there are some lobbyists. Yeah, it's always like that. But we are there. We are in the parliament to listen different opinions. Working for this document, I spent 1 year visiting Georgia 3 times, speaking with your president 3 times, speaking with your speaker of the parliament 2 times, speaking with the ruling party politicians, with the opposition in the parliament, with the opposition outside the parliament. I spoke with Mr. Targamadze, with Mr. Alasanya, and other politicians as well. I spoke with different institutes and experts from United States, from Germany, working here in Georgia. I spoke with your experts, the scientists, with journalists, with people who know how it is in Georgia, how it looks. Because as you know, the report is not only about the security and the Russian-Georgian conflict, but it's also about economy, about the judiciary system, about the development of your country in general.
This is what I was actually going to ask about. There is several amendments or several points inside of the document which are connected to Georgian internal policy. It's actually connected to the election process as well. Can you tell us in several words what was the working process on it as well?
In general, of course, we shouldn't interfere into the internal politics, but of course we can give some good advices according to the experiences of the European Union countries. And I think the general view is what is best for the country in Europe is a democratic system. Democratic system means also connection and talks and negotiations between the ruling party and the opposition. Those in parliament and those who are outside parliament, which is a specific situation of Georgia, as I understand, that a lot of politicians, especially criticizing government, are outside the parliament. In the European Union, they are mainly in the parliament. So the parliament is according to our experience and knowledge, the parliament is the best place for the political dialogue, not the street, for sure. What we ask the president and the ruling party, the government, is to have real negotiations and talks with the opposition about the future of the political system in Georgia, which includes the electoral code. It means, I know it sounds maybe funny, but the ruling party, the majority, should sometimes take care on minority, on the opposition, because the ruling party, the ruling system, the government, they need also the voice of the opposition. Sometimes critics is the best way to improve the country.
And to be better, yeah.
To be better, just to be better.
Okay, the last thing that I just cannot avoid is Medvedev's statement about NATO and about the beginning of the war. To Georgia, what Medvedev has said just a couple of days ago, twice during one day, was that if there was no war in Georgia in 2008, NATO would become bigger, would become broader, and NATO would be very close to Russian border, actually. Lots of political analysts said that this is kind of confession, that the war was started by Russia, and it was started not because of Russian citizens in South Ossetia, but because of NATO problem, Georgia's integration to NATO.
First of all, I have two messages to Russian president, to Russian politicians. First of all, they should finally understand that all countries have their own rights to decide about the future. Means if Georgian citizens, if Georgian nation, if Georgian state decides about the future in the West, in NATO, in European Union finally, Russia has nothing to do, only accept it. Theoretically, Russia can also ask for the membership in NATO and the European Union. Everybody can ask. Everybody who shares our values and our principles. This is the question. There's a question about the Russian democracy, how it looks, how it works, but it's another story. And I think this is the most important issue. Georgian people can decide about their own future, and Russia has to accept it.
Thank you very much.